the way. However, we want to talk about the prison family, and that's something that I feel very strongly about. My organization is Prison, the Hidden Sentence, and our goal is to talk about how incarceration affects families and friends on the outside. There's 10% of the US population on the outside that are affected by incarceration. And it's a lot of people that are in this room now. My brother was incarcerated for 15 years. And it's something that my family never wanted to talk about. And it's something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. The hidden sentence. When you have a family member that's doing time, you're doing time with them. The only difference is you're doing it on the outside. Again, my name is Julia Lazarick, and I'm CEO and founder of Prison, the Hidden Sentence. And we're an online community that provides information and stories for and from people involved in the prison system. When I was 36, my life was interrupted. It changed. I had a great job, great friends, and a great future. And then my brother was charged with a heinous crime and sentenced to life in prison. And my life was never the same. And that's why I'm here today. My brother was sentenced here in Florida. And my brother died 6 years ago while he was incarcerated in the state. So I'm here today to be a voice, to represent the family and what the family goes through. When somebody's incarcerated, a lot of people who have never gone through this don't realize the financial burden, the emotional burden, and how people are affected. And some of the things that we can do about it is to raise awareness. We promote conversations instead of shame, and programs instead of prison for nonviolent offenders. And I invite you to tell your story, to talk about it, and also to raise awareness, and we want to close the empathy gap, because the more we talk about it, the more we're going to remove the stigma. The more we'll be able to talk about it, the more people will understand. It was very interesting. I went to the bank the other day to make a deposit into my Prison, the Hidden Sentence account. And the girl looked at my card. I had to give her my credit card to show which account it was. So I gave it to her, and she goes, "Oh, what's your business?" She goes, "Oh, okay." And she just processed it. And then she looked at me, and she said, "What do you do?" And I said, "We have an online community, and we provide information and stories to people so they can tell their stories, and we can raise awareness." And then she looked at me, and she smiled. And I knew that she had somebody that was incarcerated, but she said, "Thank you." And it's really interesting because when we talk about it, we don't say prison. We go, my son's in prison. And we shouldn't have to. We should be able to talk about it. And our children should be able to play with other children. I've interviewed many people, and I've spoken to hundreds of people. And we hear the same things over and over again, that when a family member is incarcerated, that people stop talking to people. They think that, well, that, something happened, so I don't want my children to play with their children. And another thing that we see a lot is where when somebody's incarcerated, if it's a father or a mother, they don't want to bring the children. And I've interviewed many children, and they say that it was really confusing at that time when they didn't know where their parent was, or they couldn't see their parent. So if there's no reason why the child can't be with their parent, we need to keep the prison family together. We need to have in-person visits, not video visits. It's not the same. Because the people that are incarcerated are family members, they're friends, and they're going to be coming out. And people have to realize they're coming to your town and to your community, and we want them to be whole, and we want the family to be strong and empowered to take care of them. So it's very important that we continue the talk, that we remove the hidden sentence, and that I do invite you, if you have a story to tell, to visit prisonthehidden sentence.com and to tell your story or to read a story and learn more.